Yvonne Smith. She teaches middle school language arts and middle school, high school legal and dating instructor at Vista Academy. Dr. Yvonne Henderson is the youngest of three. She was born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. She's a diehard Steelers fan. Any others? Steelers?
No, not at all.
Stop hating!
Yvonne has an associate's degree in music, a bachelor's degree in liberal arts, a master's degree in elementary education and administration, and a doctorate in higher education and curriculum. She has been an educator for more than 15 years. She has one child with the love of her life, and she recently relocated here to the Denver metro area after the death of her parents and her son's father. She teaches middle school and high school at Vista Academy, and she's been there since January this year. In her spare time, Yvonne travels, ministering to others and encouraging them through her gospel mom ministry. She believes you have to heal the soul in order to move forward in life. Yvonne also coaches youth bowling and is very active in the church. Please give her a warm welcome.
Perfect. You're on. Okay. All right. Okay. I move. I'm sorry. Hello, Denver. I know y'all probably wasn't happy that I was a Steeler fan, but I can't help where I was born. Just like y'all can't help y'all was born here. I understand. A couple of things. I just want to call out some things. African American, Caucasian, French, American Indian. When you hear those, you think of different races, different people, different backgrounds. When I hear that, I think of my heritage, all the places I came from, all the things that make up who I am. Coming up a military brat, my dad was in the military, he traveled a lot. Understanding the norms, not knowing what life was going to bring, where I was going to be. Growing up, going to school in the early 70s, late 60s, being called black. What is that? To me, that's a color. I grew up in a mixed society. I grew up in a mixed family. And I've learned to embrace all of them. So it makes it easy for me to be able to teach students of different backgrounds because I can embrace them all. Sometimes we get to a point in class where we're teaching and we forget where we come from. We forget the struggles that we had to endure to get where we are. How many times did I have teachers tell me, you'll never amount to anything? You can't read, don't worry about it. I can remember in second grade where I was having difficulties reading, and my teacher told me, oh, you're cute, just sit over there and don't worry about it. Pigtails, mom had me dressed nice, going to school. I'm ready to learn, struggling to read, and my teacher pushes me aside. Getting past that and learning how to read. Still having difficulties reading, not understanding why. Back then, they didn't have testing. They didn't test you for everything. It was either a learning disability or you just learned slow. Well, I was classified as a slow learner. Not until I was an adult did I learn that I had dyslexia. So it was difficult for me to learn the way normal students learn, which what they thought was normal. Being labeled as a behavior issue, not being able to sit still. See, when I grew up, they probably would have put me on Ritalin. ADHD, hypertension, hyperactive. I'm still hyper. Ask my colleagues. Medication doesn't change that. It's a part of who I am. I've just learned how to adapt and deal with it. In saying that, I can see myself in every student in my classroom. I've had people tell me when I got older, as I continued in education, oh, just do this. Don't worry about college. Just get a vocation. You don't have to do that. It's not important. The American dream. Why can't I have it? Is it that far out of my reach? No. That's what we need to let our students know. It's not that far out of your reach. I've prided myself on studying hard as I had to, giving 110% in everything. It's hard in college when you go to school and you don't have enough money to buy books. My first 2 years of college, I didn't have what I needed, but I wanted to go. I learned how to study, I learned how to listen, I learned how to take notes. I went through my first 2 years of college without books. All I had was taking notes and listening very well. I graduated valedictorian. So it's not impossible. Just imagine what I could have done if I would have had a book. So we have students who may not have books, but they listen, they write, they understand. I'm very hands-on. I like projects. I like for my students to use projects because I feel like the way I learn, they learn. Most teachers teach how they learn. I'm very hands-on, I'm very visual. I love to talk. That's why I became a teacher. I get to talk to everybody. I had one teacher that motivated me, who took the time out to teach me and help me and show me this is how you do it. At the age of 12, I knew I wanted to be a teacher. That was my goal, to be a teacher, to help someone the way someone helped me. I continued. I wanted to be a superintendent, but then after I got further into school and teaching, I realized I didn't want that job. I don't. So I love being in the classroom. I love working with my students. I wanted to get a doctorate. I'll never forget, as an adult, I still had to face those same fears. I had a college professor look me dead in my face and told me I wasn't doctoral material. He said, "You'll never be a doctor. You'll never get a doctorate." The day I graduated, I wanted to find him. But I said, no, I'll let my actions speak for themselves. I don't have to prove anything to you. I did it for myself. So I said all that to say this. Whatever you think your students are able to accomplish, instill that in them and let them know that you care enough to support them to get there. The route might not be easy, but it can be accomplished. Thank you.